All right, we are back on the electrical. It's been a week since I published that last video, and hopefully I'll be publishing this one soon. Okay, so where we're at is we've run some wires across for the like the main power wire for the whole car. It runs over to the battery. So let me flip this around and show you. Okay, so this is the bulkhead, goes to the engine compartment, and I've run this wire over to the other side where I have a battery connection, and I've also run another wire, this other wire here, over to the starter. So that's all wired. This bundle of wires here, this is all for the headlights and the horn. So like headlights, turn signals, horn. And so I've run that on the inside here where it'll all be nicely hidden. These wires here, this is for my hideaway headlights. I'm not using the factory hideaway headlights motors. Like I think they used vacuum originally. I'm using electric motors, and I'll show you what is going on here. So take a look at that. Oops. There we go. And yep, that's all working. So that's pretty cool. And these are the lights. This is the headlights I'm going to use. It's a halo around, a white halo around the outside, and then it's got the high-low beam. I think that's going to look pretty cool in there. So that's got to go on. And so right now I've got to take the, oh yeah, and here's my horns. I got some horns. But I got to take my connectors and I got to run these wires. I got to run these wires to this headlight and then across over there, nicely tucked up and hidden somewhere underneath here somewhere, and over to the other headlight. And then once I do that, once I have that, I should have working headlights with the hideaways and all that stuff. I'll tell you, the first time I heard that motor open and close, I was pretty darn excited. But anyways, okay, so that's what we're doing. I forgot to mention that we are now on letter L. Letter L, front light kit. So we'll open up the directions and see where everything goes. Yeah, I have to, because I have aftermarket headlights and I have the LED driving lights and signal lights down at the bottom, like in that 69 Camaro style valence. I've got to figure all that out. I'm sure it's not going to be the way the factory wired this up. So if you have a dead stock 67 Camaro and you're looking for pointers, probably can't help you out on that. Okay, I'm trying a new camera angle. This is a GoPro attached to my baseball cap, so hopefully it doesn't make you sick, but you should be able to follow along easily with what I'm doing. I hope the motion sickness doesn't get to you. But anyways, let's see how this is gonna work. Wait a minute, yeah, okay. Anyways, before I run my wires for all my lights, I need to wire in these running lights / turn signals. And many of you know that I have a 69 Camaro style front valence. So these are 69 running lights. So I'm converting them to the Digitales. Where's the, well, I don't have the sticker for it, but the Digitales style light. So first thing we got to do is, this is an aftermarket. I got this from Speedway Motors. Aftermarket light housing and everything. Okay, so that all comes off. Get rid of this bulb, don't need that. And I need to get rid of this socket here for the bulb, because we're not using that anymore. It's as simple as sticking a screwdriver in here and prying it. Yeah, just like that. Comes out. Okay. Garbage. And this hole here, now they send you this, which is supposed to go in there, but it doesn't quite fit. Actually, this doesn't even fit the diagram of the instructions. The instructions, where are the instructions now? Oh, they're right underneath my phone. So the instructions show this as having an accordion style boot, but this is definitely not an accordion style boot. And I wrestled with this trying to get this in there, but it didn't quite didn't quite want to go in. So I discovered that if I just take this floppy disk and make that a little bigger, then this will scrunch up in there. You want it to be a tight fit because you want it to be waterproof. There, see? Ugh. Very tight fit. Okay. Now, after you've done that, this goes in here like this. Pretty straightforward, right? Where is the... We're going to run this through there like so. And before I plug it into the back of this, I'm going to use a little bit of dielectric grease in there because that is probably going to keep it from getting waterlogged. That goes in there like so. Goes like that, and they give you a boot. This is shrink tubing, so we're going to put the shrink tubing through here. And that goes over top of that. No. Go. Put that back on. I really hate doing electrical. I don't know if you picked up on my sarcasm from the last video. It's not that, well, I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's just not, it's not one of my skill sets, and yes, I guess I should work on making it a skill set and get better at it. I know it's a necessary evil, but I just don't really like doing it. Okay. So now I have that all assembled, and I'll just use the, just gonna shrink that shrink tubing now. Okay. All right, so that is, where am I gonna put this now? I got a glob of, there we go. Okay, so let me try to show you how this light looks now that we have it all assembled. Okay, the blue is turn signal. Okay, so let's see. Blue wire, turn signal. Let's see what my turn signal looks like here. Oh, I need a ground. Why is it so hard to get that light to sit? There we go. That's turn signal. And this is, where's that ground again? This is running light. Yeah. So, we'll put that in the front valence there, and continue with our wiring. This has been a most frustrating day. I have tried to make those Oracle halo headlights, which are supposed to be universal fit for anything with a 7-inch headlight. They're supposed to fit. They do not fit. I took my brand new headlight bucket, it's called a bucket, and I had to trim the back of it to try to fit the Oracle light. But once that's trimmed, then the bucket doesn't do its bucketing, and it it's no longer good for rotating the light. and you know, like adjusting it. The adjustments no longer work. So yeah, I spent a long time doing that, wiring things up, and when that didn't work, I was ready to pack it in for the day. But I decided to continue on doing a few more things. So I want to show you some stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna set up my camera here. Oh yeah, buddy. So that's pretty cool, right? Like that opening and closing and that working. So actually, no, I don't have the steering column wiring hooked up yet, so the turn signal for that would not work. But if I had that hooked up, that would work. But anyways, I'm calling it for the day because now I'm getting just impatient and bothered that things are not going like they should go. But it's not the end of this video. It's just the end of this for today. I'll be coming back at it tomorrow. I know you guys are depending on me for your how to do various jobs on your Camaro. I know that, and I take this task seriously, which is why I am switching this video from a how-to to here's how I did kind of video, and let me show you why this started. Okay, so this here is a pack of locks from Classic Industries, and it has your door locks, your glove box lock, and your ignition, and they're all keyed the same key, everything. Great, that's awesome, right? Let's put that aside for a moment. As you know, I have the American Auto Wire wiring harness, and this is the one that came with that kit. Okay, this is the one that came with that kit. This is the ignition wire, right? This is from Speedway Motors, and this is supposed to be a direct replacement for a 67 Camaro. So this is all great, but this lock here, so I wanted to, is this the one from, yeah, this is the one from American Auto Wire. This comes with your kit, okay? So I was a little disappointed to find out that my keyed lock from Classic Industries does not fit in this at all. Very disappointing. So I'm like, fine, well, okay, I will then I'll pull it out of the package. I'll pull this one out that I got from Speedway Motors. Well, it doesn't fit this one either. Don't know why, it doesn't fit. So now I'm confused. I don't know which one I'm going to use. All right, so I grabbed the Classic Industries one and I put it together. I put the lock in, like the tumbler in the middle, it comes separate from this piece. So I put it together, I plug it in. I want to try out some of the electrical components I've wired up on the car, and it doesn't turn. This, let's see if I can do it with one hand here. Okay, so if you turn it, so the way these classic cars are, well, you know what? I'm going to set up a camera and show you. Okay, we're back on the GoPro. You guys like the GoPro angle? I get to have both hands free and show you stuff. Okay, so this is the one from American Auto Wire. So on these American cars, you know, you stick the key in. If you go back, that's accessory. So if you want to have the radio on, that's where you would put it. Now, I know modern cars don't do this, but classic cars, they definitely do. So that's accessory. That's where you'd be able to pull the key out. One forward, that's ignition on, and then one more would be start, but this one doesn't do it. No amount of fiddling in and out. It won't go forward to start. So I've already started the warranty process on this. They're sending me a new one. Okay, fine. But let me show you on this one. This one does it. So this one has back, that's accessory, and then it has forward, that's everything on, and then it has the start. See, it does that. So I was going to use this one, but check this shit out. Here is the connector for the ignition, the ignition switch. It fits the one from American Auto Wire, obviously, because that's the one who supplied it, but it doesn't fit
this other one from Speedway Motors. So when I was calling about the warranty on this switch, I asked the tech guy about the switch, this one not working. And he said they don't use the 67 ignition switch for the wiring harness for a 67 Camaro. They use one from a later Camaro, like a 70 or something, like a second gen. Which sucks, because if I have a car, a 67 Camaro, and I go and buy a 67 ignition switch, it won't fit. So if I sell this car on to the next guy and his ignition switch fails, he's going to order one from a 67 Camaro, and it's going to come in, and it's not going to fit. I know that American Auto Wire sends you one, but I think it's very inconsiderate to not send you one with the original pinout, because the pinouts are different on these two. There's no interchangeability there. So I am now stuck with, I have to wait until the new one of these arrives before I can even try starting the car, because this one doesn't, even though it does seem to work properly, it does not plug into the wiring harness. So that's really what prompted me to be like, well, I can't do a how-to anymore, because everything, this, amongst other things, it's all adding up to little issues.
Turns out I have to move some stuff around, like this MSD relay block. It's a solid state relay. It was bolted down there, but I had to move it, and space is kind of at a premium everywhere that I look. It's like, nope, can't go there. There are places I could put it that would make it inaccessible, and I mean, if this is a show car, I would like the idea of it being hidden away, but this isn't a show car. This is a practical daily driver / race car. So I'm going to put it here, and it's red. It matches everything else, and I'm going to run my wires up to it. A little tip on these type of things, when you're like, these go into here. If you put a little bit of solder on the end of it, then it makes for a much better connection, and it keeps these ends from fraying or anything like that. So now I am wiring up the windshield wipers. This is the Rain Gear windshield wiper set. So I've already done the switch with these Deutsche connectors. I really like the Deutsche connectors, the way they work. So let me show you now how I do that. So here's the wires that go to the unit, and it's pretty straightforward. White goes to white, yellow goes to yellow, blah, blah, blah. Okay, no problemo. But the black has to be grounded. Okay, so I'll just grab one of these wires and show you. So this Deutsche connector this is the male version. So the male version uses the female pins inside. So this is I will use the female version of this for the wires going to the Rain Gear unit itself. So for this one, I need to use the male pins, because this is the female connector, uses the male pins. So get a focus on that. That's one of the male pins. So it's really good how these work. You just strip back a little bit. Now, I wish that I had the barrel connectors. I actually ordered the barrel connectors. I'll show you in a moment what the difference is between the barrel connectors and the regular connectors. Okay, so this connector, you see how it has these little tabs that have to be bent over the wire? So what I've been doing is I've been bending them over, and then I solder them. Now, I have one of these. I ordered one of these fancy Deutsche connector crimpers, but it doesn't. The pin. This is for a closed. They call it a closed barrel connector. So it doesn't use these little. It doesn't have those little tabs sticking up like that that have to be bent over. This just goes over top of it, and boom, and it's done. But I don't have the right size for that, so I gotta do it the hard way. So once you have your wire stripped, put
it in there like so. And then I have been using a needle nose pliers to get these little tabs started. I've been looking around. I used to have a really cool little crimping tool that would do all this in one motion, but I have lost it. I don't know where it is, and I have not been able to find another one locally. So once I have them started like that, then I use this crimping tool. Like so. Okay, and now I want to solder it. So let me show you what I bought to help. I knew I was going to be doing lots of wiring and soldering on this car, so look what I bought. This little tool, you can hold the wires in place. You see, you can hold them exactly where you want them. Like so. Or you can hold them together. So now that I have that held in place, now I can take a little bit of soldering paste, put that on there. It always helps. Melt that soldering paste. It's like an acid that cleans up the copper wire. And then a little bit of this.
Dinner's ready.
Okay. And boom. That's one down. All soldered. And once I have more of these done, then I'll show you how they go into the connector. Okay, now that we have all these wires with the proper ends on them, the ground one's got a loop on it because that needs to be grounded, but the rest of them. Okay, now this is our female connector, female Deutsch connector. I'm just gonna make sure that I have it in the right location for here. So I'll just do it like this, and it just shoves in the waterproof thing in the back, like so. And then let's make sure it comes through properly. All right. Brown, 12 volts. Oh, brown goes to the washer pump. Okay, so I need to run a brown wire out of that one for the washer pump. So let me get that one made. Okay, I have my brown wire going to my windshield washer pump. So that goes in down here, like so. They just push through there. Now, I don't know if you can see inside there, but you need to put a little locking thing. Here's the locking wedge. It just goes inside there. Okay, see inside there that green wedge it's wedged inside there. So now this will just plugs in like that, and you have a good connection to all your wires. So now I just need to put this in the dash and hook up the grounds, and this red one's supposed to go off to somewhere. I ran the wiring harness for the rear of the car there. You can see run it up there. I wanted to run it through this area here, but I would have had to cut a hole down there because I don't know what these are for. I didn't want to run it through there just to find out later on that I have to back it all out of there. Anyways, it's all going to be hidden under carpeting anyways. But that's all run to the back. And these are my LED. These are also Digitails lights. And let me show you how that looks. Okay, you saw in the little clip where I showed the front end of the car when I got the hideaway headlights and the headlights not working. You'll notice that the
lights in the valence were on all the time, like dim, and then when I turned the lights on, then they went bright. Okay, well, I thought, well, there's something in the wiring not hooked up completely. There's a ground, there's whatever, and so I didn't worry too much about it. After I got all the headlights and taillights, all this, I got this whole back section. When I got this all back section wired up, it had no signals, no signal lights, and I double checked everything was connected. Everything was connected, but I discovered what the problem was. There's actually a couple of little things that were the problem. One, my I Did It steering column, the little knob here is for four-way flashers, and that was on. Didn't realize it was on, but it was on. So that's what was causing those front lights to be on all the time. Now, the reason they weren't flashing is because I have LED lights all the way around on this thing, and they don't provide enough of a load for the flasher, the little flasher unit. They don't provide enough of a load for it to even flash. This wiring harness has two of these. It has one for your turn signals, and it has a whole other flasher for the four-way flashers. So the Digital's taillights comes with the LED version of this that doesn't need the load. So when I put that in the one spot, then the signals would work, but not the four-way flashers. And if I put it in the other location, four-way flashers work. Anyways, so I need to track down a second one of these, but and it has to be round like this to fit in the little socket, but I'm sure that's not going to be so difficult. So anyways, that's all working. Now my backup lights, I'm now currently, I found the two wires, the pink and the orange wire. I think pink and orange? Yeah. Wait a minute. Pink and green. Sorry, pink and green. Now I need to run those down to the switch on the transmission, and then my backup lights will be working too. All right, let's see if I got those reverse lights working. Excellent. Okay. So I crunched some numbers, and well, I guess I'm 30 hours into the wiring harness, 30 just on the wiring, and in total on the project on the Camaro since I purchased it in September of 2021, I'm 560 hours into it. So that's 27 months. That means that I've been working on the car 20 hours a month or 5 hours a week. So I think I've made pretty good progress, averaging only 5 hours a week. Now, my point is, I don't know how you are with your projects, but I can get overwhelmed. If I look at a whole project, it's just too much. When I first looked at the Camaro sitting in that storage container, it seemed like too much, like I just can't, when it just rolled through my head quick, my brain just did a quick rundown of everything that had to be done, and it was just too much. This is overwhelming. And I tend to shut down when I'm overwhelmed. Just, okay. So my strategy is I just pick one thing to do, right? Just one thing. The electrical was really overwhelming, like looking at all these bundles of wires and everything, and I am not good with electrical. So I honestly, there were times where I'd work on it for a little bit and I'm just like, I can't. I'd stop. But then I just pick one thing. I just need to run one wire. Just need to make a little bit of progress and find where that one wire goes and figure it out. Like, this is what happened with the turn signals. Like, they weren't working properly, and it was like, what is, and I thought it was something to do with the steering column, because it's an aftermarket steering column. So I actually went into the wiring diagram and I just looked at one wire at a time. Where does this go? Are these colors matched up for the wires and stuff? And realized they were all wired correctly. It was just that stupid four-way flasher knob that was pushed in. It was a simple little dumb thing. But yeah, so that's my advice. Just, if you have a project and you're feeling overwhelmed, just pick one thing and fix that, do that, solve that problem. And then once you get over that one, then the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And eventually you'll have a 67 Camaro that has all its lights and turn signals and even a terrible sounding horn. This is like the second set of horns I've had on here. I don't like them. Anyways, and windshield wipers. I have windshield wipers. I know you can't see it because you can't see this because I haven't got an arm on it yet, but that's working. So anyways, all that's left is the gauges. These gauges here, look how beautiful these are. That's what's left. So that's what I gotta do now. I'm gonna end this video here so that I can have the entire installation of the Dakota Digital gauges as one video, one standalone video. And please like and subscribe because the algorithm doesn't like me. And so I need your help, all right? So share with friends and make comments. Comments are good. Algorithm likes comments. All right, we'll see you again.